Welcome to Made in Anambra, the podcast where we discuss real stories of real people doing excellent things right here in Anambra, ranging from entrepreneurs to artists, community builders, tech innovators, and all. This is where we sit, go deep, and share realities redefining our future. On this very first episode, we have with us the convener and the founder of Onitsha Business Hangout, Ifeanyichukwu Ogbaji. Onitsha Business Hangout is a community reshaping the way businesses are done in Anambra, right from Onitsha. I am your host, Samuel Dim. This is Made in Anambra. Ifeanyichukwu, no.
Hello.
Welcome to Made in Anambra.
Okay. Thank you.
Those that know you will know you are a big man and you are made in Anambra. So please, can you tell us about yourself? If you believe Ifeanyichukwu, tell us about yourself, who you are.
Biko, Kambuluzo issue a disclaimer. I'm not a big man. Abumu Ifeanyichukwu, Mr. Adiria, Chief Adiria, and just Ifeanyichukwu is enough. And then I'm made in Anambra, like you rightly said, because I was born in Anambra. I grew up in Anambra, primary school Anambra, secondary Anambra, University Anambra. It was only service Kamemero in Anambra, and then I'm back to Anambra again. And then this is out of love and passion for my city. So I'm a graduate of Pure and Industrial Chemistry at Anambra State University, and then I'm a Twitter person, I'm a social media person, I'm a social media critic, and then I'm a social commentator. I think that is where I major right now. And then finally, I'm the convener of Onitsha Business Hangout, and the biggest business gathering in the entire Southeastern Alibu.
Okay.
Independent business gathering.
Wow.
So yeah, it's also made in Anambra.
That's very good to know, the independent part of it.
Yes.
Okay, looking at Anambra and at Onitsha as a whole, what particularly, you said you schooled all through, maybe served outside Anambra State. What particularly made you come back, look at Onitsha, look at Anambra and say you want to grow here in Anambra, you want to grow Anambra? What is your drive?
Because that's me being honest. Not like I had it in mind to settle in Anambra. No, or the plan. That wasn't my plan. But you know the saying that says that life is what happens to you when you are making other plans. I had other plans of maybe relocating. You know, normally, let me say something, in our 300 level now school. The lecturer in our science, I was studying Pure and Industrial Chemistry, so the lecturer will come to the class and say, "Hey, be the best student. At the very end, or say God creates chemistry, recreates what on earth is not chemistry." So that's mindset. I was seeing myself off Anambra State, and then clinical, and then you are going to travel around the world and then experience life outside Anambra. Oh, well, condition make crayfish bend, and I'm here, and I'm not regretting it. So, bro, I didn't come back to Anambra with Anyoma.
It's not intentional.
It's not intentional.
Okay.
But I'm happy where we are today.
Okay, welcome.
Dalo.
So you don't even need to be told welcome.
Yeah.
But looking at Anambra at this point, can you give us a picture of what Anambra is looking like from what it used to be and what you felt it would look like? So give us a picture, Anambra as a whole, economically, socially, otherwise. Can you give us a picture when you're not on Anambra, someone that's not resident in Anambra in Nigeria and wants to picture Anambra? Can you help draw that picture?
I will be honest with my response in the sense that now we cannot talk about Anambra without talking about Nigeria.
Okay.
And I'm going to return that with a question. Kijili Legi Grace Agon. I'll ask you a question. Abunibe Catholic. 1996 Kaibido Bebe. Prayer for Nigeria in Distress. Ayomaka Nigeria Nananso, started by the Catholic Bishop Association, SIBAN or whatever, Nigeria. So if I should ask you, Mbebidoli Bele Ayomaka Nigeria Nananso in 1996, Nigeria the better then, or the better now. Point is that Anambra is the state with the highest number of human capital index, abi human ginawa.
Yes.
Where Ibiakacha with the largest concentration of humans that are active and they are doing things. So because of that, Odika will push in Anambra State. I was trying to talk to one of you guys when we were out there before now. I was telling them that now, down here, we create things for ourselves.
Yes.
And don't need lazy government time. Government time are lazy. I will give you an instance. 2000 Kamili Kusele Egba na Anambra State. Instead of us to rally around and find how to solve the problem using government, government so look at it again now. Electricity, issue of electricity is coming up. Kata ma iga agba akalian ka imali ha igeme. We move to gen. Fuel galabon. We are now moving to solar. There are more homes with solar now than even generate than it were before. So from when you're outside in Anambra, the truth is that we are not where we are supposed to be.
Okay.
With the number of potentials and we as individuals the private sector are doing enough. Man, that government presence that will give that private sector the push is not there.
Not there.
Or like commerce, Azumahafia, Malunda Anambra. Let's take our mind back. When was the last time, if there is something like a Minister of Commerce or Commissioner for Commerce, visited commerce, because there are things I gave as individuals. There are things I gave as cooperatives, and there are things that government needs to do. In as much as now public-private partnership (PPP) and it is yielding results, but mind you that it is also limiting. So Onitsha is evolving. Ndị nọ na ya is also evolving. Mana ụfọdụ ndị na-evolve na Onitsha kali ndị evolve gonu. Ndị na-evolve na Anambra kali ndị evolve gonu. What are we going to do? We only keep trying, like the few of us or few of you guys, none of that private sector that is trying to drive that change. How much of a support? That's something you need to tell yourself the truth and then see that Onitsha is way below, living below its full potential. Not even expectation. You expect being a potentials be it's not an expectation. It's what is with us. And then Keduka say live there out. So we are trying to, if you look around Onitsha, and we growth steady because when we call Onitsha involves Ogidi, Onitsha involves Obunike, Onitsha involves Nkwele,
some part of Obaru,
Onitsha involves Usugbe, Onitsha involves Obosi, Mpo, Oba, and by extension Ojoto, Umuoji, and recently Orifite. These are a big expand growth. All those things can reconcile as Onitsha. Even Obaru part, but are all linked up to Onitsha. So the expansion and the growth is there because all private is being pioneered by private individuals. But that thing needs linear Onitsha below that city. Amano Kweselebo is what is actually lacking. And it will take Onitsha. Onitsha is a city even without anything, just like Lagos. I will also reference Lagos. It's a city baby. No matter what you are doing, as long as you are dedicated to it, no matter say you will see food to eat. That's the potential on the channel. Then how do we now expand this? How do we now get people to come in and see this is what is going on in Onitsha? How do we bring investors in? How do we now manage the growth and the expansion is where the problem lies. And Odiro Ayunwabundi bin Onitsha naka. Or the Naka government. So whatever it is that you have and you're going to bring to Onitsha, Onitsha with the largest open market in West Africa.
Yes.
What are we doing with the market? Then how many industries are coming in to service those markets? You find out that all those things are coming from external when they should be around us to manage the expansion. So it's a very big challenge for us. But
You gave us a very clear picture. Back to, let's narrow down to you.
Yeah.
You launched Onitsha Business Hangout 2022.
Yes.
To connect Onitsha, to connect the social media community, to connect, I think it should be to the world at large, to what is happening. Can you give us what made you start that in particular? As what was your dream? Came we knock at and say, okay, this is what I want to do.
First of all, I'm a very private person. I hear in him too much, but I do mother day. So I was a Facebook person, and my friend, I will mention him, Jalove. When you are all cosmetic company then name Twitter. So on phone, I go just browse through then. So from there, a little bit 2017, 2018. Here be the back in the sense that if I'm online, I wouldn't want to know that I'm not online. You know, online, nobody is showing in online on Facebook. Yeah. Somebody will send me a message, and that thing now back I always want to be operating from the back, from the Narazo. So I started out of it. Then suddenly I lost interest in Facebook. I switched over to Twitter. Twitter was giving me comfort. I will not tweet for 2 months. I'm online. Online. So I'll be reading, and then from there I started making reports about Onitsha, because here na like it irritates me, and don't irritate me, and I have to
say it out. Something. Yeah.
So I started talking about the ill. So one more like I'm giving an everyday situation report. So ungafe no piweka ebe gota men suchi, and they could see clear that gota. I will just snap and upload.
We used to see that.
The government should come and clear here. Yeah. There's a dead body here. Unya press unya encroach the road. So I started like that, and then in 2020 2020, I was coming back from my cousin's wedding, Olisa. Then the whole of Onitsha was locked over a small rain. I got angry and I tweeted, Onitsha, Adiroma Ezuomoaka. And I followed it up with my reasons. Before I tweeted that thing, the next morning, Onitsha was trending from that particular tweet. I got enemies. That tweet. My problem is that I have this thick skin. So Onitsha was trending on that Sunday morning, which is 15th November 2020. I still remember the date because the wedding happened on the 14th. So after that thing, I was contacted by Chude. Bro, why did you do that rubbish? From there, Chude, Baba. And then we came together and formed what we call the Onitsha Twitter community. Moa, Chude, Geneka, Phoenix, and then Phoenix and Joseph Jaho. We formed Onitsha Twitter community and had our first hangout in 2021, May to be precise. After that, Onitsha Twitter community continues to exist. That was when Willie Obiano was the governor. So 2022, somebody now came to my tweet and said, Ifeanyi, since what have you done? Or don't you know that you can do something in your small space that will bring about that change you're expecting from government? The thing struck my head. I was like, what can I do?
Can you remember the handle that said?
I can't remember the handle. Okay. I was asking myself, what can I do? What can I do? Then I looked at Onitsha. Already before then, the Onitsha Twitter community, we go games hangout, we movie hangout. I was like, okay, as a community, since here Jimala Onitsha business, can we do Onitsha Twitter business hangout? I brought it up to the community. The community bought the idea, and then that was how we started it in 2022. I got 8 panelists, and then the discussion was Raudi Maguhe Buzome, and it's not something I've had experience before, and I lost my dad at that particular period. I was moving from DM to DM, trying to raise money to pay for hall, pay for this, pay for that, because the community had to go on a Haji. Even as of Saturday night, about 6 p.m. in the evening, Echibu the event, We have not paid for hall. You can imagine. So at the very end of the day, we were able to pull that one. Mecha Sinamadi Zem. I got tired. So Ilu 2023, Jaho, who was Joseph Jaho, who was drafting the event for Onitsha Twitter community for 2023, drafted me to Onitsha Business Hangout again. We'll have to repeat because the stress and pressure I passed through was very, very difficult for me. So I said, okay, let us do it again. We started planning from January. We choose a topic, we started writing to people, and Onitsha was the most difficult place to have an event in the entire world. Not even in the entire world, because who are you going to talk to? So only opening na approach for sponsorship na fear no make a favor. So, but after that period, I was beginning to see, what if we can be able to do this often? What I asked myself, I remember that Nemuro, a platform that links our fathers and us. Nemuro platform, like, Kedebe, where can you get the opportunity to see GEO talk? Where can you get the opportunity to see Chisco or all those rich
big names?
We don't know their stories. So I want to know because that's the mindset that we have out
We
there.
don't have access to them.
We don't have access to them. So I now see in that 20, I now begin to see Onitsha Business Hangout as the Twitter Business Hangout as something that needs to bring these people. Let us hear from them. Then that 2023, we wrote to some persons. Even somebody flew in from Abuja. He works for United Nations. He flew in from Abuja. We did it. That one we can last year. Kianjo. In the number of turn-up. Njo in Afufun Talo. That year can't touch a child Onitsha Business Hangout. Because no single help was coming. No money. It was being run personally from my personal funds at a point because there was no help. So that very day we came, the hall was filled up. I was excited. When my pocket was empty.
It was bleeding.
It was empty. So we had one of the best discussions. And then something happened. Immediately after the discussion, we started by one because one thing I had in mind was we have to get it right. So we started, I still know one, even just like ABC Transport, then second hand up by 8. Also, I below for passenger they are leaving. So we agreed 1 o'clock we started. So we started by 1, not the low by 6. I didn't make the observation. It was Mr. Don Ebubog that made the observation. As he last word there, he said something. He said, since Oji Bolo Mado, no Onitsha, for the first time in his entire existence, Kano no Onitsha, nobody left. Or somebody couldn't in a hall. From that one, we roll by 6. And that Nubia. There was no way naked. There was nothing. So don't make that observation. I think we'll final word. We'll go have become. But this is the last time we are doing this. I can no longer continue, and I'm being honest about it because I am tired. It's frustrating and it's time consuming. And it's bleeding me because I can't come to terms that me will fund this thing again. No, I have to literally go to pay to my mutual and my Onitsha Business Hangout. So it's actually overwhelming for me. Don't see Ifeanyi. Oburo anyị ada agwa gị ka anyị yọọ gị. No na anyị na-agwa gị ka ịmalụ that you must continue with this. But we are going to give you support as much as we can. And if not for that statement, Onitsha Business Hangout is long or dead. And Aburo Moni is that conversation. A lot of people they make again. Why they run away is because it is not sustainable, because no brand will support you. So we did that one. Then we prepared for 2024, which was last year. And we had the biggest event, and all the quite difficult. It is still personal, semi-personal funds. And then the highest money. Thankfully, some people were beginning to see need in what we were doing, and like Tiger Foods. I won't forget to mention Tiger Foods.
Tiger Foods.
I won't forget to mention Crisoral. And I will also not forget to mention Gaius Chibeze. If not for him, we wouldn't have done last year's event. He gave us the highest amount of money that we used. And then we tried to negotiate with the church for the hall I use. Imagine a hall, bido by 12. I go by 12, Banyoya by 6. We are paying 1 million in Onitsha. We tried to tell them this is a community service and they said that the hall is also a community service. So that is what brought about the whole thing. And this year, we are planning even a bigger and better one. And the story is still the same when it comes to support and sponsorship. Till this very moment, no. We've already gotten support. How many weeks? It's less than 14 days on business hangout.
Yes.
Only 2 brands have been able to give us money. 2, just 2. Tiger Foods and Crystal Garden Estate. The rest, we've written to them. That is when we knew that actually companies are struggling. Nigeria, that's why you saying that you cannot discuss Onitsha without discussing Nigeria, because whatever happens in the center still trickles down to us. So it has not actually been an easy experience. But one thing I know that the journey has been worth it because it opened me up to different persons. I can easily walk into any office and do my presentation. I can talk to any brand. I can tell you what we are doing and the value we are offering. Okay, let me tell you. Last year, Ifeanyịchukwu a flour mill at the entire southeast. Not even one.
Not one.
Meaning that everything obviously bake. See outside the way better. So Madam Ijema is also that said now, imeche flour butter from Asaba. The entire southeast cannot have bread, cannot have anything obviously flour will aim. You see that kind of conversation. You see that how that drives a conversation. Because after that, over 2, 3, 4 months, Enugu state government tried reviving Sunrise. They signed the contract to revive the mill. So these are the kind of change we want to bring about in our society through having that core conversations. So to summarize, it has not been easy, but I was inspired by a tweet, which happens to be a question. What can I do to make my immediate environment better? And we started with what we are good at. We started with our strength. But overall strength time, we started with what we can do. I'm the kind of person that believe in work on your strength. Forget about your weakness. Your strength will definitely at one point overshadow the weakness, because if I talk about your weakness, you're not going to know your strength. Or you make you need and when you work on your strength and keep increasing, the weakness will go away. So the Onitsha Business Hangout has come to stay, and it is made in Anambra. And this year, for the first time, we're having like persons travel all the way from United States of America to attend. As I'm talking to you, people on my DM, somebody is coming from Port Harcourt, people are coming from Lagos, people are coming from Abuja. So we are uniting every business person who is interested in growth. Last year, we discussed succession. Business. We discussed it last year. It was not in the course of that discussion that we discovered that now, business and how can you now succeed or success to somebody? So that is why this year we are discussing how to carry on with sustainable business strategies. So we are discussing it this year. So Onitsha Business Hangout is there to unite you with those top guys in Onitsha who we don't even know how they got there. They are coming to share from their own wealth of experience and knowledge how you can actually do some things and then succeed. And look at the problem I know. But in the course of doing Onitsha Business Hangout, we discovered that now sometimes all just what some of us need is that that little money can be grown. But he need maybe maybe shop by 10, maybe by 7. Push
little instructions and direction.
Little instructions. And where I learned that was a conversation with Don. He said, Nandiba made the mistake of unye business, export. You generally na export book with dollar. He said, "Oh, we have him in after African Guinea free trade zone and the rest of it." So he said, "No, when you meet that, the only name me kuli. Now she export here to Togo. Also, when you population in the Togo, I say no less than 6 million. I say population on Onitsha. I say more than 10 million. I say those two, who should be your market?" I back and when numbers keep oscillating up pursue. And so these are the kind of discussions young business owners need to listen to see how to scale through. You listen to people who are already professionals. Don't say that Nigeria do over 200 million. Tiger Foods has not satisfied 200 million. Not that they don't export, but they cannot even meet markets. What's it that they don't meet demands? Even Nigeria to be solely focused on export. So these are the little knowledges that we share and hear from those kind of persons on how we can be able to break even in our little business. And then that is all about Onitsha Business Hangout and what we are trying to do. Let there be conversation, constant conversations around issues that are bothering us as young people and as business owners, and then as SMEs, as entrepreneurs, as anything that we are doing. Let us keep having those conversations bit by bit. And that is the reason Chineke ji nye anyị ntị na-abụ n'ofu ọnụ, so that we listen more than we talk. So when you listen more, there's every tendency that you are going to get knowledge, and that knowledge is in you, indwelling in you, that once you start putting it to practices, you start getting results. We are not saying it's going to be easy, but at least we are going to do something come out. Yes.
Ifeanyichukwu, is it intentional na in all your stride you mentioned leaving our government, Onitsha, Anambra state, like it is on record, so now the state with one of the biggest GDP, IHDR and RDR and all of that, raising revenue internally. So there is money in the state.
Yeah.
Nobody will say there's no money in the state, government-wise and individual.
Yeah.
You not having government support, is it intentional? Did you leave a government interference, or have you ever for once reached out to government, say, okay, governor or speaker or rep, this is what I'm doing in Anambra State, I need support, and they said no? Or you intentionally say, Apple government?
It's intentional.
You don't want to have anything to do with government?
Not that I don't want anything to do with government. There are limits. Like, I didn't think I'm anything to do with government. I'm lying, because last year, ANSEPA came, Anambra State Investment Promotion and Protection Agency. I wrote to them. They are an agency in government. They came. They dropped in their own sense, and then the conversation flew through Mark Okoye. I will mention him. So he was supposed to come, but he couldn't make it. So he sent his people. So I'm working with government when it is flexible. Mana to write to Anambra State government to come and be part of what we are doing is intentional. No, because of why? Whatever comes from government in that capacity will be politicized. Because government is going to drive the narrative. It is no longer, you watch I'm going to name introduction, that's in the independent is intentional. So for now, I need the government. I was telling I wrote it on a tweet. Imagine the government in a line like 5 million to sponsor the event. It doesn't ban him on, it's a business hangout. The solution is here. Do everywhere. I know make the conversation. Here or there, and so donate their mid conversation. So, and what if this government supports what you are doing? The next government comes in and doesn't see value in what you are doing. You are lost. So on Atanya Fufu, we want to get it right in the sense that we need to get those brands in Onitsha to be responsible, because right now, majority of them are irresponsible. If I ask you to mention one brand in Onitsha and their CSR, corporate social responsibility, which is in the law that they are supposed to invest a certain percentage to the community, host community. How many of them? Imagine, I'll give you an instance. Adeola Odoku or Adeola Adeniji Adele na VI. The entire stretch of that road, every December, Zenith Bank in a design. But that place here in New York. A potani yuri do mota eba headquarter ndi UBA. If you could see Adena Christmas, very sweet. EJ na Asaba under bridge interval.
Shop right today.
Zenith Bank na Apiachi Ofuma. But as you know, P work and Onitsha. Gafenenu Bridge. Where are those brands doing with their CSR? They abandon Onitsha. They don't value us. That is why I said there is always places where government will come and tell them, this is what you are supposed to do. If you're not doing it, you pay dearly for it. So no need. Watch an event in the Southeast. You will buy a feeling that it is being sponsored by government. And when government sponsor it, they drive the conversation. You cannot decide what you want to discuss because if discuss why you might try to bring up incompetence in that government. And because they are driving it, you are not going to have some discussion. But with Onitsha Business Hangout, we drive the conversation.
Say things as it is.
If it is not good to government, they should come, listen to us, learn and thought and feel the pulse of business owners who are doing business. But to correct an impression, Onitsha Business Hangout is not strictly and solely for Onitsha.
Yeah, okay.
This year's panelists, 3 are coming from Lagos. Only 1 will be here in Onitsha. Then the other 2 spotlight speaker, 1 in Asaba, 1 in America. So we are not limiting our discussion to just Onitsha. Okay. We are spreading. That was what significant thing that happened last 2 years. After Onitsha Twitter Business Hangout for 2023, we decided to throw it open.
Okay.
It started with Twitter. And Twitter is limiting attendance. Okay. Because if on Onitsha Twitter, you on Twitter, you feel you know for you Twitter.
Yeah.
So you need to on the Facebook, on the Instagram, on the WhatsApp status. But we threw it open and called it Onitsha Business Hangout, throwing it open that Ihabu open to everybody. So leaving out government at this stage is intentional. So that 1, we can build and build solid. So that Onye Nabiano as an independent brand is coming to get value. Then 2 is to be able to drive the kind of conversations that we want. 3, it is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. Government needs to write to us, not us writing to government. If government is a government that have ears, they should write to us. We want to attend. And when we attend, they are going to take the concerns of the people and work on it. But
all right, we have issue. You've gone to that line, but I want you to elaborate. If you come to the whole of Nigeria, in Anambra particularly, we have the largest spread of business, the biggest demographic of business, and Ndi Jego, they will have them more in Anambra State. But you said earlier for this year, just 2 brands.
Yeah.
How do we deal with access? But I think the issue we have here is access. How do we deal with aside you are doing Onitsha Business Hangout, if someone that is doing something like we are doing made in Anambra, we have many businesses made in Anambra, from Onitsha to Mpo to Gidi, Agwa, Taibenine. How do we deal with assessing these persons? Well, it's looking like in the big names in Anambra. Each time I tweet on Manto Progon. So how do you deal with access, and what is your advice on those trying to assess these people? Because there are many young entrepreneurs in Anambra State that has idea that wants to pitch an idea to somebody that will benefit him and the community in Anambra State. No access. So how do you deal with access, limitation of access, and how do you advise? What would you advise people? Okay, this is what you should do. For the big players, for the big names, particularly.
Like I said earlier, I'm a social commentator and I'm a social critic. I started by using Unyemma, and I did network marketing for more than 8 years. So what network marketing will teach you is it teaches you access and how to reach out to people. Okay. So when I started, I have to use with Unyemma. just like you now, I might be discussing something with you. Next thing is for me to get to you, from you,
To the
I
person.
get to the person.
Okay.
And amụtara m nke a n'ezigbo oge. Adị m aya ego. Mara m ka esi aya ego. So at least, ịma na ọgaranya ọbụla ị nara ego taa n'ahịa echi. Even the average person offer anaghị or call na ego ka ị na-abịa ịbịa na. So when we started, I started discussing with few persons na that Twitter space. Like I said, it's on Twitter. So I've already, anyị enwego ihe dịka a community, Igbo community na Twitter. So I started with them. I started first business hangout time. We are all Twitter persons.
Okay.
Second hangout time was 3 Twitter persons. 2 persons were not Twitter. So from there, I started talking to people. And the high kulu is that na ndị be anyị, all the common, all the normal, but like ndị be anyị we dey overdo am. You might be seeing me here and I'll be doing Onitsha business and I'm call the number of rejections.
Inwetego.
You will not believe it. I went to one of the biggest brands in Anambra State and met the social media manager. He said something to my face. Was me fine. Assuming name Oga, who would have sponsored you. But because name Oga, you don't have a relationship with Oga, we cannot sponsor you.
Just.
So that's why I said we need to change it. Another thing, ndị bịa go before us, how did they do it? A lot of people na-enye ego for sponsorship. Na-afụ gị as onye agụụ na-agụ, ha chọrọ inyere aka. Because a lot of people megolu the thing na-eme because they needed money.
Yeah.
Well, today, Onitsha Business Hangout has not made 10 kobo
as profit.
And we are not profit oriented. Money when you need tachala alpha. They like 10 naira. It's ndị gị na ha so be biano. Biano ka iri. No. We've not gotten to that point. When I call for volunteer, I'm not going to volunteer. Ego gị ka iji eme ihe ọbụla. Shishi. Adirokwa. Ọ dị gị mma join na. The person they develop like website they make it for heading to 2 years. 10 kobo kopuliko or jed. Only rebrand the yaketa self na phone or charge 200,000 na phone. By the time I was done, it cost my problem. See me find it because I will design it for you. Just blue problem happen. So what I'm trying to say is that those rich men around us don't give us access because they see us as they see you as hungry, and 90% of time they are not wrong.
Okay.
So just like Onitsha Business Hangout. If I tell you that name Wendy and a billboard without even bringing 100 naira, we do it. Just call in that billboard, the future strong brand, only with 100 naira. But because I have a relationship with them, maybe I was discussing with Chini outside. I told her, "Anna, booth free of charge. Let them just come so that place is so that other people can see that that is how we are trying to do it. So access to rich persons is on, as long as Anambra the concerned, is on relationship. When we went to Lagos to look for our sponsors, Sam, Amoromonyo, phone. I've just be an event in different Z. In fear. I talked to the person, Sam because I know him. I said, no, can we talk to him? I said, boy, my name is Ifeanyịchukwu. I'm from Onitsha Business Hangout. What can I do for you, sir? Can we get a meeting? Be them by Sunday. Next thing, we'll send the golden code. Some estate code. We prepared. We went. Donolani, Pankata, he agreed to come. But I've never had such relationship in Onitsha. It's always rigid. Before you get any big man in Onitsha, sinaka filaka, wirugaka. So, first of all, our rich persons down here, the rigid, they need to open up more. Even the young ones need to open up more. Don't name all those things, but we need to open up more. And then another thing is that it's very difficult getting access. I will not lie to you. So what you have to do, what we call social currency. If now, Maloda, you are trusted, when you talk to somebody, I want to meet this person. It's very easy for that person to link you guys up. So that is how you are going to begin. And for the first time in a meet Oga, ibuna problem gị bịa. Because onwere na-achọ ime expensive. Hey, Oga, agbagidego m ya n'ego. If you do this, you don't start like that.
Okay.
You offer value. Come, like Onitsha Business Hangout, if anybody sponsors us, only with a good 100 naira, we give that person value because we know that is the right thing to do. Before some of those people did not live up to expectations. They just collected money because they wanted to collect money. They eat the money, hoping that tomorrow the brand continues sponsoring them. So you, as a young person hearing me today, if you are interested in growing, offer value. Enwe ka isi nwete that access, that opportunity, ka gị na that person nọ, make sure you utilize it. It's not about money. Do not put money first. Ama na ego ya ayo ego. Like mwa keta mkpọ ịma na mma ayo gị ego. Mana enwe ike mma ayo gị ego ahụ ozugbo. Mmesi n'azụ.
Mana ị ka ya ayo ego.
M ka ya ayo. Mmesi ihe m dara ịnọ gị ọhịa ego nwee ọzọ wepụ ka ihe ọzọ a na-achọ na siga na-abụ anwụrụ. So you water the ground, you pet the person, you show previous workings, you show what you have done, you show what you are doing, you show what you hope to do. You now tell the person about the business, you offer the person the opportunity to attend free, you offer this, or you offer Chazie, that person will now relax. Look at what you are doing. Like, let me give you an instance. Last year, we invited GUO. Yeah. It took us 3 steps to get to GUO. I meet Onyi's meet to Onye Nkodo, link to Onye Nkodo before we now had access to GUO. And we met him in an open place, in a public place, and it works for me perfectly. I don't like a closed door discussion. I'm like him a witness. So we met him in an open place where fire down. After I fire down, within the he was impressed with the presentation of Sena Ogabia. The first day GO, but he walked in. With graduation that day. But he said he's going to come. He kept to his time. 1 p.m. he was there. But I don't know, after the whole introduction, Abogote GO on a stage. The first thing he said, Anya gwari ukwu ego. My Biana Sports Club was, hey! Biano geno nti umazi abịala ebe a tata. Ha berokwe na mego. Ha berokwe ya. So in na, ndị na-abịabu before na abịa na.
He had an expectation already.
But we didn't mention money. So I was saying, so when he got to the stage, Nolani, near microphone, the first thing he said, maka ife ahụ maazi a na-eme ebe a tata, ana m enye ha 1 million naira. Agbasa abịa na echi niile wele ego. That is psychology. That is how you deal with some of these persons. You don't just come and begin to talk about money. That is why access is difficult, because he will be a problem. The beat. And don't worry, even you take, even urgent 2K, you go like make them bill you. Think about the big persons. So when you have that access, what do you do with it? And some of those young persons, when they go those access, abuse the access, making it difficult for me and you, genuine interest to assess those persons. So it's a chain reaction, but it is something that over time we hope to break down to allow us access. It was difficult. Difficult. So nobody is having it easy. But maybe because we have something to back up what we are currently doing. So we have a profile note. So before I talk to you, I send you a profile note. You see the list of persons that have actually attended and see how many lives we have been able to touch and the impact we had. But when we started, it wasn't like that. It was personal funds. So for a beginner, you can begin by using your personal funds to be running it. Create result. Get something that you can actually pitch to that particular person. We're not even with free money to throw about.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are talking of Onitsha, talking of business. If you see the way Onitsha runs business, they are business driven, they are profit driven. But I want to ask, is in Onitsha Business Hangout, okay, for what is coming, is there space for like we have other in Oka, we have tech communities. Is there space for them to come and showcase to these bigger guys in the system that here in Anambra State, somebody can take your business from the conventional pen and paper to digital. Do you have such space in Onitsha Business Hangout where tech can be imputed? You can impute tech into the structure? I don't know if you get my question.
Yes, I get your
So that
question.
these big players can see, because sincerely, aside access to committing their time,
Yeah.
even tech innovators is finding difficult to access them for partnership, for businesses. Because if you ask the tech communities, strange enough, we have one of the biggest growing tech community here in Anambra, and many of them don't even have idea. So in Onitsha Business Hangout, is there space for tech communities to be involved? We have tech communities in Anambra State, we have Anambra Startup Network, we have Anambra Techies and all of that. Is there space for them to come in and say, okay, Ifeanyichukwu, we want to come into what you are doing and want to raise the flag?
Nke ọrụ ga-akụ ihe na ndị tech Anambra mee. Manna mama ha nwa ihu onye isi dị mma. I will be honest with it. Okay, let me tell you something. There is this unseriousness that is in us as in the Igbo. We want ihe ọbụla na-adị anyị na-achọ ihe free too much.
Okay.
As a people, let me tell you a story. Last year, after Onitsha Business Hangout, I started looking for funds to support small businesses. I met a man who manages business clinic, and he threw in 10 million to Onitsha Business Hangout as grant.
Okay.
Did not return the money. Use it to empower. I asked the man, did they be well interest or seem no well interest in tech, food, and fashion? So we did what we call the Anambra Innovation Tech Quest.
Tech Quest, okay.
Ifeanyichukwu personally contacted Zikora. Zikora sent over 20 numbers of hub owners and startups in Anambra. I personally took my time, called the 20 of them. Less than 15 minutes. I was explaining the vision, the idea. Biano. Problem is funding. Even if it is 1 million every month as free month, it is something. Come, let us unite. Let us build. Onye wetege ego. So see him need in is register and show up that day.
What? Yeah.
Yes, show up. Show up. So that when the person with the ego bia, often in a large community, it will with 4 million this year. Next year he might get 20 million.
Yes.
All no get benefit abroad tech. On the day of the Innovation Tech Quest, on that very day, it was only Zikora and Ralo of Activate Hub. From that over 20 persons that I called that came. No other person.
Only 2 persons.
Only 2 persons. Only 2. And then the person that brought the money came to the event. Number 1 is setting on Onitsha Business Hangout up. You are not living up to your expectations. What if the man doesn't sponsor next year? That same tech community in Anambra will tell you that they are not getting, because they have not satisfied on it. They are looking at maybe any $100 grant from Ankebala. So 4 million. So they are looking for the bigger one. Forgetting that you solve your problem. So on this Onitsha Business Hangout, because we know there may not be time to do all those things. What we have is 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So if we start doing kanda in the tech mecha, the agriculture ya senoge ka hamen, the agriculture mecha, the fashion design ya se ka hamen, and the food ya se ka hamen. By the time you find out that this is all ongoing, so we decided to cut it down and give other people spaces so they can be able to showcase themselves. And they didn't. So this particular one is strictly for conversation. Come and listen. Take a it will use this particular thing. It works better for you. And then to the small vendors on Onitsha, because we have a community now. We are building a community of, and we call it an ecosystem, not a community, just like tech. Okay. An ecosystem of business owners. Join the Onitsha Business Hangout community. Then that community is that Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays we'll come together, have a discussion about our business online. Okay. You can join. It's not solely for Onitsha, because we are trying to build
this community have an online presence like Twitter handle or
Twitter handle.
Okay, how do
because our business there is you. It don't be for Onitsha business hangout. No, you are coming for yourself.
Okay.
And then we a retweet community, and when they Twitter, when they Facebook, when they Instagram, when they TikTok, when they LinkedIn. What you are there in that community to do is to promote yourself and your brand. You dey Emily Ifeanyi, you dey Emily Onitsha business. You talk to Itetola, I name a weekly schedule. You talk about your business. You talk about your business, you drop the link. Down on that Facebook community. Engages your link. You go back and engage their own. Even marketer, they want to have a business or they cannot even engage another person's link. Talk more of engaging there. You find out that they will look a problem all over, scattered all over. So in order to make up for them not being part of this Onitsha business hangout to vend, because you actually need to learn.
Yeah.
In order to vend, where are you going to learn how to promote your business? We are now working to have a mini trade fair in December.
Wow.
So we're having that mini trade fair in December where all the vendors in Onitsha business hangout who couldn't vend in our big event should now come and do their vending. So to answer your question about tech, for now, we don't have plans for that because we already did that one in February, which they didn't show up. So we are trying to make it easier and break it down for all of us. So for now, the tech community, come and listen. If there will be need for them to talk, we have not discussed it now. If there is need for that, for now, no. Then, obviously, when we change your mind, we'll announce it. But for now, no.
No.
Come and learn.
All right. Thank you. You uncovered the exceptional. But there is a challenge we are facing here in Onitsha. Involvement of young people. Will Onitsha business hangout in the long run have room for? In Anya, there is this transition of development. When you breed a young person in Anambra, they tend to move out of Anambra. Some want to go and explore in other states. Some wants to go and explore elsewhere. Is there a way Onitsha business hangout is trying to, or will try to capture this? This is an error, like you did, even though you said it's not intentional. You were born here. You had your basic educations here, and you were formed here. You came back to transfer that whatever you've acquired here in Anambra. But currently we are seeing people wanting to leave. Is there a way we can retain these resources? Because seriously, there is heavy transition.
Drain.
Yes. So how do we address this issue?
There is little or nothing Onitsha business hangout can do about it. If we are being honest, we can only talk about it.
Okay.
It is left for government to provide favorable conditions for businesses to thrive. Just like I was having a conversation, I was asking somebody, could you hear Ministry of Housing and Development in Anambra State? Are there low-cost houses by government that will encourage you
to stay?
One bedroom no 1 million. That will make you to be paying that 1 million. And then Keduka revenue get it. And these are some of the factors that government actually need to do. Provide that enabling environment for young people like us to see value to keep remaining here. If not, they will always move to Ebe Hage thing. And look at it. Each particular locality, each tribe, let me use locality, each particular locality will have the money. Onitsha, Anambra is known for one thing, commerce. If you are not into buying and selling, on Adeba a bit difficult. So now, for somebody natural a white collar job from a multinational, Ghana acquires you up to 1 million. Can we find it in how many places in
Anambra State?
So in natural white collar job that will pay me up to 2 million. And when they know Lagos get nearly 3 million, 4 million salary in multinationals. Where can you find such multinationals in Anambra? You are going to leave. It is now the responsibility of government to bring in attract those multinationals and force us to stay. If government doesn't bring it, onye ọbụla ga-apụ.
Eziokwu.
Sọsọ ihe ga-afọzi n'ubu ndị na-ele anị, ndị real estate. Ọ ha nwere iruzi na Anambra. Ha nwere ihe ya afọ because onye ọbụla na-elezi anị kịta. Anyị sokwu m ele. Everybody is selling land. Anyị ngwa anị na-achọ. So that's what is left. Then with ndị na-eme trading, just like a tech person, how many companies ka ọ ga-abịa ịbata? They will listen to you. Then just like agriculture and the rest of it. Kedu ihe eji mara anyị? Ya eji mara anyị is what we are going to capitalize on and make it interesting that other people will need to come down. Mgbe anyị na-etonite ndị Lagos na-abịa Onitsha azụ afịa. What changed now? Why are they still not coming? Mana ha ya abịa gbafọ Onitsha, Jaba. I'm not trying to make comparison. Jaba, Jezu afịa. What is working for us now? Market kacha ebu muketa aka na-abịa azụ is provisions, because we are servicing the entire South, apart from Edo State, Asaba, Port Harcourt, Akwa Ibom, Calabar, Enugu, Bayelsa. They all source their provisions from Onitsha, that relief market. Then apart from that, what other ones? So government need to give us reason to stay back. If government doesn't give us reason to stay back, when you graduate Ogbaji, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, that's where they normally go. So that is about it. So it's not for Onitsha Business Hangout. The only thing we can do is to keep calling the attention of our brothers to what is going on and the need to invest home. But are you calling someone to invest home as Onitsha Business Hangout when security is not guaranteed? And again, ndị be anyị eji ozi ike wele alụ ọrụ, nwere chọlụ ịlụ ọrụ, onye ọbụla na-achọ ibute ike. Go to ime villages, you'll be surprised na ndị Hausa, ndị Togo ka ejizi alụ ọrụ. Kedu ihe belu ndị be anyị? What is going on? Because onye ọbụla chọrọ ịgbapụ jeburu ike bata ka akpọọ ya afa. Ịmagoro ụmụ onye na-eti egwu, otiche egwu a. That's what he needs to tell us. Na-ege dị egwu ihe ọzọ ya anụ bụ o wee buru akpa ya jebe obodo South Africa, ebe ahụ ka ọ nọ wee bute ike, ebe ahụ ka ọ nọ wee bute ike na-eme gịnị? Ihe ọ na-eme, he will not tell you ihe o melu wee bute ike. Sọsọ ọgwa gị bụ na olele anị ya buru akpa ya jee South Africa bute ike. So mgịnwa as a young person na-ege dị egwu, ihe ebu na akpa gị jee South Africa ka ibute ike. So we actually need a very serious reorientation of our people, especially the young ones. And it's going to start from family values. Panama inculcate. But you need to inculcate on the young mind what it means to be hardworking. And again, the people I need celebrate in our society. There are people with questionable characters. How wana no n'isi oche n'ụlọ ụka. Ha nwa ka a na-akpọ na donation. Ha nwa ka gọọmenti na-enye award. Ha nwa ka a na-akpọ n'egwu. Ha nwa ka a na-recognize na school. Ha nwa ka a na-enye doctorate. I will struggle do ya more than 7-8 years na nnachi nweta PhD. Nwatakịrị kpatara ego amụrụ ka o si kpata ego school akpọ ya maka onye school donation 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million nye honorary doctorate. Then what's the essence of going to school? Ojukwu said that the day he lost, Ojukwu of the Blessed said that the day he lost respect for school in Nigeria, na palọ mmadụ wee nye doctorate degree. He know na oya sago. So ihe niile ihe emebiwo now according to okwu isi na ihe emebiwo. So now, if government cannot be able to give us reason to stay back, I will not blame anybody that leaves, because you provide your own water. Maybe being a pogo security, the security estate and a pogo is your money. Then go on a borrow transport, no subsidized. Then what else? Go on a pogo. It will be a tech person. You need local 247. So you are born fuel every day. You burn fuel. If you like 2 million a year, set up solar. Then housing. So if you calculate all these things and find out that no man can give me back, you leave. And that is what is actually going on. So Onitsha Business Hangout cannot convince somebody to stay back because I had a yin. In as much as we will encourage people to stay around and build our state to make it attractive, but you can age into Kudom. So government need to do their part to be able to encourage people to stay back and help in rebuilding Alibu, starting with insecurity, light, housing, transportation, and the rest of it, so that even if no when that gets elected, if you are of this age, do this and do this, this is the benefit. What is your benefit of being on Anambra? Mention one. Apart from animal brigade, so that thing had me to go. So apart from that, benefit? Just let's be honest. What benefit? If you are staying in Oka now, what would Fiega Kano be? Yes, I want to stay in Oka, not minding my skill because I know I'm going to break even and I'm going to get that government support. What?
None.
So what about the next person?
That's pitiful. A tweet he make about a bank he make a call to. As now he 50,000.
Because it is put that clause because it is on it.
Because it is on it.
How often that?
I think this is a picture problem. You know, online, if you can, there's a picture people are painting of Onitsha. Sometimes I paint that picture too. Maka teacher go on Onitsha before. But is there a way we repaint this image? Because Onitsha and Anambra is not as it is seen outside or even from people within. First of all, like I said earlier, it's a picture problem, an interpretation problem. But what do you think we need to do as individuals, as a community, to repaint this picture? It's not 50,000. This person that promised 50,000.
I didn't collect.
Yeah, you said so. He said in quote, because it is Onitsha. It's a shame. The place will have one of the biggest demography of markets, from main market to relief to building and all of that. And that is the Onitsha someone is saying because of. So how do we address this? It's a problem.
Last year, a bank gave us 100,000. Out of the inspiration I collected, we can't even. Last year, I was also 400,000. Maybe that was what gave this particular bank another morale to come with their 50,000. Let me tell you the honest truth is that it still boils down to government. If you are coming in from Onitsha, Ninu Bridge, what impression do you have on? Let's begin with you.
Fear. There is this fear, sense of caution.
And then before you know it, if we have a uniform, Magulumoto, and a driver and as a steering make it in the road. In as much as Onitsha, they're terrible as it is being painted, just like Odero was like other states.
Other states, yeah.
Mana anywa bundi Igbo, we are very, very vocal in calling out our people. That is why you see Anadragi Soludo, Anadragi Pitamba, Anadragi Nokebon, Anadragi Hupus Odema. Everybody that is elected into power, we drag them because only Bada Fuizioku. No, it's not on our people. So it still boils down to government being intentional about the picture of Onitsha being painted out there. And at the same time, government being intentional about development and not in a photo ops. Because for a long time, government in a photo ops about Onitsha, Onitsha Dinka. They may batazim Onitsha, you will not see it or the empty. And then our content creators, I thank God no when the government and the content creators know. After that, what kind of content can those people be painted? We don't actually know. So it's a very, very, very tough, difficult task that government has to be intentional about. Or government called the Naka, or the Romuanaka. It is government that will do something and people will see it and begin to say, it's very simple. Isi na abura akwụsịgo. Let the people see na abura akwụsịgo and begin to talk na abura akwụsịgo. It's not government. Ndị mmadụ will not listen to government because I'm unable government. Is imagine saying na anyị ncha ine nọ na ruma mana abura akwụsịgo. Anyị ncha ine na-eti na-ekwu ahize na abura akwụsịgo. Organic, not forced to. Ọ bụrụ isi na abura akwụsịgo n'echi niile mmadụ post video ebe ndị akụdo ji mma na-achịgharị mmadụ n'Onitsha. It doesn't work like that. So first of all, government has to do a serious reorientation on going to Onitsha, going to Oka, going to Ekulobia, going to radio stations and begin to talk to people using social media to sensitize people about the need to do this and do the other. Happy genuinely, they know this is what they want and they start working towards it and they start doing it. Once they start it, it's natural. People will follow suit. Like Onitsha, to Onitsha. Amalugo mgbe mmeji gafe. Etu mmesi gafe. Like mmesi we gafe.
Yeah.
It's very simple. amalgo m ebe m etinye phone n'akpa mara ebe m ewepụta phone. It's normal for me as onye Onitsha. And sometimes those people who paint that picture bụ first timers. It's not Sunday on Onitsha. Like somebody wrote one period na-ezughị ori n'ọpa iwe ka dos no si na gota gbafee. Ọfụkwa ka ndị ọzọ na-aga. Everybody is going. You follow them.
Yes.
Next thing. Or an SSA or gịnị to Edo state government. Just like ọ pụtara n'ọpa iwe ka ndị mmadụ na-aga usoro ha gaa. Ejide sọsọ nyanwa rapụ ndị ọzọ. Ọsọkwa na ebe ahụ ejie na everybody na-agafekwa. Why o ji bụrụzie sọsọ nyanwa? So you find out that kind of a thing. So ọ bụrụ na a ga-akwụsị ihe a, government enforces it in the most civil manner. This is 2025. You don't even need to be dragging steering with people. Set up small cameras. Have a stand. Onye a break a law, you need the ratio. On a park, abịanwudi ebe a Lagos State ebido gị. Ị parkịrị ana moto gị wetelu gị tiketi gị. Nobody nwere na-achụ gị. Iche gị na ekwuru ya ma be gị. They come and arrest you. There, that is what tech can do. There are people in Anambra State that can create tech community that can bring down softwares and create apps that can do this.
Yes.
One, it saves us manpower. You stop paying them. Just 2, 3, 4 persons is enough. If it is in a side the bridge, you put on a bridge, a park. Everywhere chaos. They put on it all the chaotic look at that. Because you don't even know so many uniforms. Unify those persons. Let it be one uniform. That ye black ye red, ye yellow, ye green. So if you want to paint a good picture and change the narrative, government has to be intentional. Knowing that each one be extremely difficult. Even Chineke kelu madu nogide nanbia regret That's to tell you how difficult humans can be. But until at that, there are things you can put in place to put people in check. And the ordinaka government. So people painting the picture of Onitsha might not be far from the truth. But in as much as it may be is exaggerated or whatever, but there is an atom of truth in what they are saying. And government has to be intentional to make sure that what people are gathered for picture to paint. And that solves the problem.
On the Onitsha Business Hangout 4.0. On your 4.0,
yes. First time. This is our first time.
Tiger Foods.
Yeah.
A very big shout out to them.
Yes, they are headline sponsors. On Dinjeko. This is a man that whenever I want, he gives me access. It's a rare privilege. And when you know and talk it and chat or reply. Manandi would the biggest problem no wa. Bundi PA and as SA. These people they are the gatekeepers. They don't give you, and I don't like access to Oga. Any Oga I meet you today. You say, Oga, I'm not going to chat you. I'm not going to call you. Give me somebody I can talk to. That's how I function. That's another thing I forgot to mention.
Okay.
In your number PA or somebody where then majority of times you get to find out that person as is going to reach out. It becomes a stumbling block to you.
Okay. Big shout out again to Tiger Foods.
Yes, Tiger Foods Limited.
How has their sponsor improved or impacted Onitsha Business Hangout?
In one sentence, without Tiger Foods, there will be no Onitsha Business Hangout right now.
Wow.
So that's the level of their impact. Without Tiger Foods, Don Ebubog is the owner of Tiger Food that said he's going in 2023 that I said Namadi is a mena. He was the person that said, no, you have to continue. And ever since then, he has been solidly behind us. So without Tiger Foods, I already heard the Onitsha. Onitsha Business Hangout in Michigan since the last 2 years. I come out cause.
Ifeanyichukwu is a big work you have at hand. But what has been to continue, apart from the fact that people said they will sponsor you, as a person, what has been your personal vision, your roadmap for Onitsha Business Hangout?
First of all, the vision is to become a go-to, the biggest business gathering from Africa.
Oh.
From Africa, not just like from Africa, like anyway, London Expo, anyway, London Business, whatever. That is, our competitors is not Ndinoka. Our competitors are Burundi nowhere. Our competitors are the world.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to one day, as a managing director, owner of Samsung is coming to Onitsha.
Wow.
Because Africa is the next market. Any openable brand outside Africa is targeting Africa.
Yes.
So we want to become the biggest business gathering that would bring about societal change and make a huge impact in the African market. And again, to individuals involved in what we are doing, we want to have the biggest ecosystem whereby problem all need you but on it, your business hangout as a person, you get solution. That is what we are looking at. It's actually very difficult at this point, but when we look at the endless possibilities that lies ahead, it gives us inspiration. So my vision is for Nature Business Hangout to become the biggest and the go-to place for business. Even with the quality discussions, we go to Onitsha Business and we have plans of maybe setting up a podcast studio because we can't just have that discussion once. Or the no, we don't want it to be like that. We want a discussion. If we don't finish up, those panelists, we can invite them where they can sit down personally and tell their stories for more than 2-3 hours. But we don't have the resources yet. So we are working with what we have. So when the resources becomes available, we are going to have a podcast studio. We are going to work on the community. We're also looking at that community. That community is very important because it doesn't end with just hearing. It also works with monitoring those people that heard about it and how they implement those things and their businesses to get results. So that community, you can get people you can actually fall back to and then get insights and go back. That's just how we want it and what we want Onitsha Business Hangout to be. And it is no longer about Ifeanyichukwu because we now have other persons who are involved.
Who are driving.
So whether there are people that I know that once they are there, Onitsha Business Hangout is already working, and then I have to give them because someone actually it may not have been like this, but when I see some people that I'm working with, and then all of us are putting heads together. It's no longer about Ifeanyi. We have that. Even sometimes when we want to take a decision, we come to the community. What do you think? You find out that there are brilliant people out there who gives brilliant submission and ideas. So it's a community thing. It's community driven. So the vision is no longer about me now. In as much as maybe in buying a video, I have a vision, but it is now our vision. That is why I tell people who are part of that community, own it. Fine. Own it. If you join a business hangout tomorrow, you are now part of the community. It is your thing. So marketer now, I have this person. He's a good resource person. You go to the person. I have this person. Can we do this? We can do it. So if the tech community in Anambra wants to leverage on Onitsha Business Hangout to have an event, why not? We work on it. We look for sponsors. We work on it together and bring it to life. So it's no longer about Onitsha Business Hangout. It's no longer about Ifeanyichukwu. It's about us.
It's not a community.
Yes, it's about us.
Okay, you mentioned something about the mini trade fair.
Yeah.
Can you give us an expo to what it's going to be like?
It's for people not on Onitsha Business Hangout community. Like,
okay.
Go tech, make food production and packaging. What about aqua? What about shoe? Manon on that community. Kezi benefit. What about electrical? What about aka?
Okay.
Benefit in that community. So we are trying to bring them in and show them a sense of belonging. It's a mini trade fair because we're not throwing it open to the public. I throw it open to the public or below a full-blown trade fair. So it's just a mini for those number of persons in London. What we are doing is for them to come out and showcase what they are doing. And it is also going to be inculcated with food fairs.
Okay.
And they all gather in December when people have spending power. So that and we are going to make sure that they give I just touch our price in a laugh. At least you are going to give like 10-20% discount. So then we set up the space for those community persons and we make big noise about it so that people can walk in and patronize people, vendors in Onitsha Business Hangout community so that they can equally make sales and feel when I know Zeba na push the community, grow the community. Melon the tech, melon the food, melon the fashion, and no. So we have to
bring them in.
It or that's why it's a community thing, and we are leaving it exclusive to just those people in that community. But no, it's already 80 or 90. just the 90 of them. So when you can take up a stand. All services can render. You print your flyer, you print your t-shirt, you print your polo. That is the essence of that community. To give everybody a sense of belonging, to show the world, and it is free.
Okay.
The most important thing of this whole thing is that it's a business hangout. You start the alpha, total the sponsors. From our personal pocket, we source some of those things and may, and then we throw it open, free of charge to everybody. If that day later 1 million,
is your money.
Later 2 million, later we are not there for any target or for anything, just free of charge.
Okay. Someone gives you an open note and said, who would you like to invite? A big player that you've tried to, or maybe envisioned to invite, or envisioned to have in Onitsha Business Hangout? 1 or 2, 3 names.
Last year, I wanted to bring Lady Adaumoji for this year's one, but
Zenith
Bank, but it didn't work out, and then couldn't get access to her. Not that I didn't try extra hard though. When we went to Zenith Bank headquarters last year, I mentioned it to them because why? She's a young lady, and then she's a vibrant lady, and I am curious to know how she was able to attain such height as an Igbo lady. I mean, the thing just I have interest in what she was. I wanted to hear her story because even till now, what a story in a public. Then when I changed the mind, when it was invite Chimamanda Adichie, not be Onitsha. It would be great to have her in Onitsha.
Chimamanda.
Yes. Let her come to Onitsha now. Oh, in Anambra. Odelowa, yes. Okay. Come to Onitsha. Talk to us. Let us defeat that thing in that stereotype now. Let her come to Onitsha. Feel the pulse of Onitsha. Talk to us in the Onitsha. Bring in her wealth of experience. Then those people now fear from a distance. Just like, I'm very far. She's close to them. She speaks. It's going to inspire a lot of young women in Onitsha to do better. And then you can from Ebahino. The most important thing is that people don't believe. We have to be honest, but at the point, people don't believe Ebahino, that their small space in Onitsha can actually catapult them to the world. And that is the narrative that we want to change. I want to tell people that with what I'm doing in Onitsha Business Hangout, a day will come when Harvard is going to write to Onitsha Business Hangout. Come and tell us. Not me. Write on Onitsha, because I cannot travel alone at this. If at all name we invite the it has to be together with the team. Because it's not me. I might just be the focal point. Oh, Ifeanyi can have, but it's no longer like that. Invite the Onitsha Business Hangout team to come and talk to us, to them there. And we also invite them to come and talk to us in Onitsha. Because the idea is to bring them to Onitsha, not to take us out of Onitsha. So I'm looking at Chimamanda Adichie as someone I know that who has deep-rooted blood in Igbo land that can be able. And another person is Tony Elumelu. These are the two persons that off heart. I know Tony and Shego Ogbaji. I forgot profit in the GTB. Yeah, that's another person that we need to actually talk to. Shego Ogbaji of GTB. These are because we don't want to do politicians. I be saying, we are not doing politicians.
Just
in Nigeria,
strictly business.
Talk to us. Let us see. You know when somebody just because you saw this person with Anya Ginabo, it changes everything about you. The way you think, the way you see yourself, the way you see life. Just by seeing this person say good morning to you, everything about you will change. These are the kind of changes and things that we need to bring to Onitsha to change us, to change the narrative, to change the mindset.
Okay, finally, I would love to know, how do one become a member of Onitsha Business Hangout?
Indicate interest in it. We add you to the WhatsApp community.
Just like
nothing. It's free. Just like I said, Onitsha Business Hangout is community based. And because it is community based, we want to get it right. We want to do the right thing. Let me personalize it for the first time. It is very difficult for me at this point. But someone has to pay the price. So I'm paying the price right now so that people can see how it is being done. Your primary source of income is government. Government can come in as partners, not taking and take not coming in and taking the driving seat. No, it is your idea. Government needs to partner because that is how government partners private individual, would be private. Let me use private independent ventures like that, not government sponsors. No, it has to be private. Then let us be able to get responsibility out of those persons. So we have to do it right. Just like in Kuneme made in Anambra, on our fuel now, because it is personal funds at this point. So likewise, it to accord Onitsha business and want to get it right, want to build that community. It's all about me. What started this initiative was me doing something for the community and not collecting from the community. So this is me and my own little way of giving back to the community. Join the Onitsha Business Hangar community. You introduce yourself. So that when we look around us, if we start patronizing ourselves, I buy from you. The community, the ecosystem starts growing until you get to a point that whatever you need, once you go to Onitsha Business Hangout, you get it solved. It might be easier that in the long run, we create a website for our members, every one of them and what they do. They are verified. We know them. You come from America, send in money. They deliver to you at no job. They are part of this community. It can be the bigger dream. We'll get to that point. But for now, I can go there here, WhatsApp close group, I can email like that. From there, you can now grow. But we are just getting started.
All right, thank you very much for your time, Ifeanyịchukwu. Where if you are in Anambra, if you are in Igbo, if you are in Umowa, Apo Iran, Israel, if you are saying maka business, can you tell us general
more like last words?
Yeah?
More like last words.
Yes.
Ebe a na-eje etele aka and we cannot do it alone. We know it's actually very, very difficult at this point, but ihe dị mma ime ọfụma. As in the Igbo, being born an Igbo person is already a biggest blessing in Nigeria. Just now, Igbo, you are the biggest blessing in Nigeria. So can you wrap on some of those things that you name and begin to live a community life? If you notice on some of the history book, before now Igbo na-eto na be communal life. Before now, ada agba fence so that isi begi ebanyebe nwanne gị, ọsọ chụba gị ịgbabanyebe nwanne gị. But as time begins to grow, anyị mụtaba ihe ọjọọ agbaba nnukwu fence, and that community life is beginning to erode. So let us imbibe, and then ndị community nwere ike ile anyị zipụ ofu onye uje school n'obodo Igbo ọbata, the person gives back to the community. Mana ezijezie ndị mmadụ keta onye obodo Igbo ọgbanye ofu onye furu, ndị obodo tụzila ego wee zie can no longer work very well. So let us remember home in all we are doing, and let us do all we can to bring glory to our Father's house, our Father's land, not our Father's home. So Bikon, neighbor, just know that you are a blessing to this generation. Keep up the good name. Afamefu na bafa ndị Igbo na-aza. Kokona ka afi, onwe na-aza Ifeanyi started afi Igbo efuna. Na-ebutezi n'anya aja afa. Uko ọchịchọ. Let us take it all easy. We know we have it all, yes, but I jili n'nwayo to be able to support your neighbor, support one neighbor and call name. And it's a business hangout need support. I've been saying it on Twitter, so we can be able to have this event. We are going to do it because all here in a chain will be like a name. So do not forget home. And they will tell you so that when we type Onigbo or Bulezigbo at the very end, everything ends here. So can you wait to our can? We will live, we will nas, we will up. So let us all be good ambassadors wherever we find ourselves. Let us not forget where we are coming from. Let us continue living our communal life. One year, one nigga, so we can be able to work together. We are all doing good. Even if is politics, some of the politicians may think limit between us. Or they can one and on. But now behind this, we can work to their own advantage. Let us all unite and get it done. Then ihe ọbụla anyị kwesịrị ime, ebe ọbụla ị nọ, ịmara ihe ị kwesịrị ime, mee ya ọfụma. St. Teresa, I'm a retired Christian anyway. Then St. Teresa of Calcutta was the person that said, "Now, ihe ahụ dị m n'ime, mee ya, even when no one is watching you, do it right." Ama na onwero need iji eme, ị kwesịrị ime, mana mee ya maka ọdịmma ala Igbo. Ebe ọbụla ị nọ, contribute what you can to the growth and development of our land.
Thank you very much, Ifeanyịchukwu, and thank you for everybody that saw to the end of this episode. This comes to the end of Made in Anambra with Ifeanyịchukwu. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one Igbo dish you can never say no to?
Akpụ.
If you weren't doing what you were doing now, what would you be doing?
Kasi mee na-anya moto na trailer.
Describe Anambra in one word.
Obodo ndị arụ dị arụ adịsịrọ.
What is your favorite Igbo proverb?
Wepụ aka ọla ekwensu, nwe ihe mmadụ na-achọ n'ike mmadụ ibe ya.
If you had 24 hours to show someone around Anambra, where's the first place you take them?
Opiwek.
Introduce it, then just tell us yourself, yeah.
Afam bụ Ifeanyịchukwu, and I am made in Anambra.
Thank you so much.